Mother.
Ladies
Let's
and
move into
gentlemen,
Mother.
Let us move into the film of the week.
Yes.
The new Darren
Aronofsky
Aronofsky film.
To recap, if for anybody that might not know, Darren Aronofsky is a very bold, interesting filmmaker who did The Wrestler.
Indeed. We just
he
talked
did
about
Pi,
that.
Requiem for a Dream. He did Noah with Russell Crowe.
He did Black Swan.
He did Black Swan, probably his biggest success, I would
Biggest
think.
film.
Yeah. So now comes Mother. I might have forgotten the film, but I don't think I have.
There might be another one in there.
I know there was a failed Dark Knight
maybe an
movie along the
early-
line that he tried to do.
It might have been an early film that he did.
In the late 90s, he was trying to make a Batman Year One film, and
was
eventually
he?
the studios thought it was too dark, so he moved on. But that
Okay.
would have been interesting.
But he's a unique guy.
He's
He
a
has
unique
he has a great
filmmaker,
vision.
very visual.
He's a very...
And his movies are deep.
No, not just
Usually.
visual. He's spiritual.
Well, no, that too, but I'm saying,
he's
when I say
esoteric.
it's a
He has
blend
a-
of all those things.
Right, he has a definite uniqueness, but he's
Yeah.
dark.
He is, very
Let
dark.
us recall, he
Yes.
is dark.
He's
goes
almost
dark.
a nihilist to some extent, a
True.
little bit.
Yeah, he almost gets, he's into Nietzsche territory.
definitely into that.
He's definitely dark. He's strange. He's odd. But he's so unique, and he's always worth watching.
And he's very artistic.
And Mother is no different. I applaud this film, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to actually
Please do.
give you a little, if I can get it to work. Oh, it doesn't want to work. Hello, you little son of a. There's a little applause for you, Mr. Aronofsky, because you have definitely pushed the bounds of the medium of filmmaking to a different dimension that goes above and beyond the call of duty. Is this a pleasant film to watch? No.
No.
Is this a fun film to watch? No.
Not really.
But is this going to be a bit of a landmark in the world of film? Absolutely.
Now this film
100%.
makes its mark.
It does indeed.
In the shelves and shelves and shelves of films that have been made, this film has prominent placement.
It does indeed. I can't really say that the sum of the parts really equals anything to plant into your heart and your brain with any great severity. It's more of a shock film.
Yeah, it's an experience film.
It is. It starts off right from the beginning, irritating as hell. It's like the camera is in a gnat that is following Jennifer Lawrence. The camera is literally on her back of her head or her face or encircling her head or just her torso, upper torso, for maybe the entire film to some extent.
There's a lot of
branch
that.
off.
Yeah.
This film is like literally, it's like a snowball that begins the size of a pea and then just totally just escalates and goes bonkers into an absolute zone of twilight.
I'll tell you,
brings you into another dimension of space.
I did not.
Space and time.
Like, I've deliberately not really seeked out too much in terms of content for this film. I've seen the trailer a couple times.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to really know too much about it because it just the little bit that I have seen, and that's part of the marketing too, to make you wonder what is this movie about. And
Of course.
So I went into this movie not knowing too much, extremely open-minded. I did not see that third act coming. I did not expect the movie to go where it went.
No way you could. No
And
possible
I
way
was
you could.
uncomfortable the entire time. This movie features such a display of uncomfortable situations, intrusive characters, presumptuous characters, people just taking over things and imposing themselves.
It is, as
God,
human beings,
I was just cringing in my seat.
Absolutely.
And that's just
what they went
a
for.
testament to Darren Aronofsky's direction.
It is true indeed.
This could be a Best Director nomination, although I think the subject matter might turn off the Academy.
Very possible.
But it's very worthy of a nomination, I'll tell you.
Totally.
It might get a Directors Guild nomination at the very
I
least.
hope
Because
so.
he
I
does
hope
some
so.
stuff just so bold and just like... There was an expression used to describe at one point Pulp Fiction. And they said it uses images as stilettos. And I guess that applies here because this movie has some things that you're seeing that you're just like, what am I watching? I can't believe this movie went there.
I did watch Jennifer Lawrence. She was on The Tonight Show talking to Jimmy Fallon before this. And she was talking about, now Darren Aronofsky is her boyfriend.
They fell in love on this movie.
They have been together for a year now.
Which is not exactly a new thing.
Well, very true. Yeah. But, you have to hand it to, I hand it to Jennifer Lawrence. She was talking about how she broke down
I
many
heard about
times
that,
during
yeah.
the course of the making of this film.
Yeah.
She was just totally obliterated by every aspect of
Emotional.
you know, we as
Toll.
human beings, we have a certain sense of order in our lives. We have we are in our homes.
Yes.
If we drop something on the floor, we immediately run to pick it up, and we wipe up the little display of gunk or debris or whatever leftover thing. This movie just compounds that into the, by the time the one thing that Jennifer said on the show, and I think she said it as a final little bit of retribution. She was talking about how when she saw the film with an audience, she saw it with a family member, I believe her brother at the time, and she was very concerned about what he would think and so forth.
Yes, yes.
But she made a comment that that think of this as the world. Think of the film as the world, as a symbolistic film.
Yeah.
And I'm almost trying to help the viewer out there to just have a little bit of a concept when you go in to see this, because otherwise it will just come across as mayhem times 1,000. So I think by having that in my brain when I walked into this film, I think it actually helped me a little bit. Yeah. I gave me a little bit of something, but I do like the fact that she said to during the film, apparently when she and Darren were watching it for the first time, people were beginning to really react in a very bad way. Some things happen that are just they go totally against the grain of humanity. Basically towards the end of the film, involving a small
yes,
and it's a horrifying moment. And
that whole scene is just,
oh my god, we can't say what it is because it's too much a part of what the film is.
I dare not say much about what happens in this film, because that is part. Yes, that was good. That's part of the gripping nature of this film, is that you don't expect, and like I remember when I saw this one trailer last week, it was like the second release trailer.
Okay.
There was a narration and things that popped up on the screen. You will always know where you were when you saw Mother. And I'm just like, come on, guys, let's stop with the marketing. However, now that I've seen the film,
in retrospect,
not that it's a JFK where were you moment, but the movie leaves an imprint on your movie-going brain.
No, it does.
That you will probably never forget.
There are boundaries
that are crossed.
That's not necessarily
false advertising.
As human beings, we have boundaries. There are things that we adhere to. There are rules that we apply to our lives and to the lives of, we make judgment calls when things go wrong on this planet and people do horrific things to other people. Well, in this film, we see the ultimate, some of the ultimate crimes and sins that do go on, and it's just something that you can never really prepare yourself for watching this film. But boundaries are broken, and whenever boundaries are broken in any way whatsoever, ladies and gentlemen, Bazinga is right.
But that's not what you meant to say.
Major applause. I totally give it up.
Yeah,
I give it up for Mr.
I do.
Aronofsky.
And one of the things about this film that, to me, leans this movie to a horror area, is the fact that a lot of the behavior that we see on this film, it's very present in our culture today.
True.
There are things in this film that occur that are not out of the realm of plausibility, or that have happened to some capacity to some people. This film displays some of the worst elements of humanity, human nature.
I think it goes beyond that.
And it's just,
there's
evil on display as well.
Definitely.
No, definitely.
Definitely.
This film is about obsession. It's about cultism. It's about... there's displays of love. There's adulation. There's a comment on celebrity culture. There's a comment on so many different things that we are seeing on the daily basis, especially in this interconnected digital world that we're in, where everything is just here at the edge of our phone. Everything is there for us to tap into, and so we become obsessed.
I don't understand your correlation with today's digital. You're just saying that because of our phones that we're more in tune.
Well, we're more in tune with everything that's going on. We're seeing everything at all times, right?
True.
Nothing is private anymore.
And
so we're obsessed with
the worst,
seeing behind the curtain also.
True.
There's an obsession with, let's just take celebrities, for example. There is a celebrity obsession going on. It's nothing new, but I feel like it's even more present now in the advent of things like TMZ, paparazzi, Twitter, everything is keeping us in tune with these people that a lot of people idolize. And it's impossible almost to escape. And so for somebody who is a celebrity, for example, it's almost impossible for them to live any kind of a normal life. So then we see things in this film that
are magnified.
Yes. To the worst extent.
Well, obviously.
Granted, most of them don't encounter the kind of things we see in this film.
True.
But it just brings it to the surface, and it makes us think about it for a minute, like, oh my God, you know what? There are things about this film that are not necessarily fiction. I mean, we could foreseeably see something like elements of this movie on display in reality.
I hope not.
But think about the Manson family. Look at what people were drawn to do by one person's charm and charisma.
Well, no, there is a Hitler.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a Hitler quality to this.
Yes,
there is that definite dictatorship. There is a Jesus gone / the devil almost. You know, we have a worship that takes place in this film that goes beyond anything.
Yeah,
and you know, I almost think Javier Bardem might have been a bit miscast. You know, he has an evil, almost not an evil presence to him. Maybe we're so used to that evil presence. You know, right back from you know, New Country for Old Men.
Oh, No Country, yeah.
Old Country, or is it New?
No, it's called
No Country for Old Men. Right.
Yeah.
Even back to those days, I think it kind of forecasted him, but I appreciate his use in this film. I think I
always like him.
He compounded the element of danger / hope that exists throughout this film. He is the hope, and yet he is the danger. It's a mind-boggling piece of work. The only thing that perplexes me about this film, in retrospect, is the fact that I don't know if what it was doing was really something to relish. Okay, we pushed a lot of boundaries in this movie, but did we really give the viewer anything to hold on to? Just as far as, you know, we could say it's a big Twilight Zone episode.
It felt like a Black Mirror, yeah. Twilight Zone
like a
kind
Black
of thing.
Mirror.
That's what it felt like to me.
But I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel anything as a human being to and forgive my selfishness. I'm being selfish to my own self here, that I wanted something to hold on to just in a way that would mean something to me.
So you're thinking you don't necessarily.
And I'm not saying something has to be good or bad or whatever, but I'm just finding that the chaos is all that I really
took away from it.
So
you're not coming away with a message or something to.
I didn't feel any real message, even though there was a message. There is an evolving circle, if you will, that a message is partially contained within. You have to read deep, and you have to get out your scripture or whatever to possibly understand that to the most extent that can be understood. But do I leave this film with anything, a great notion or a great idea, or that I was blown away? Let's just leave it at that, and I'm going to give it a huge, massive, big yes.
Yeah.
I loved it, but I can't say that it touched me. It didn't touch me in the way that sometimes the simplest things touch me.
I know,
and I found that it was more spectacle sometimes. For, you know, we have many directors who emulate our heroes,
I understand,
and who try to be weird for weird's sake, or they try and be funny for funny's sake, or they try and, you know, whenever there's, as we all know, there's only 2 typewriters in Hollywood. Somebody is writing something original, something is just duplicating. So in a film like this, this is definitely a one typewriter. This is a guy. This is a typewriter that just defies all means. But was it just chaos for chaos' sake? Was it just craziness to go beyond crazy? And I think that's kind of what I'm leaving with, and I'm a bit I'm still thrilled about it. But I'm a little bit torn.
It could be a cautionary tale on celebrity worship. It could be a cautionary tale on obsession.
Okay.
You know, it could be something as simple as don't let strangers into your home. I mean,
true,
which is kind of silly, but at the same time,
in this film, you had no choice.
Yeah, I know.
There wasn't.
Well, yeah.
I mean, there's no way that anything.
There's just one scene where somebody's in there and like Jennifer Lawrence is like, "Could you get out of here?" And they're like, "Put out." Like, what do you mean? I'm in here. It's like it's her house. It's just an audacious film, and it's a big yes.
I know.
For me too.
I'm just saying, and I don't mean to. I'm not giving anything away.
No.
But when the ending came,
yes,
and I wanted something perhaps a bit more impressionable. I wanted the ending to mean something.
I understand.
To me,
to you,
it really didn't.
Okay.
It really didn't mean that much to me. So It's still an absolutely
Maybe
worthwhile.
that's something that'll come on a second viewing, which I think this film will definitely bring.
Absolutely,
I'll definitely have to watch it.
No, I
again.
will watch it again.
It's
now,
so unique.
It's going to take on a much less. I mean, once you've been through a car wreck, the second car wreck, it depends on the means, but it's generally, it's like you sank on the Titanic. Okay, now I sank on the Queen Mary. It ain't so bad now.
Well, maybe you got to watch it while having some peyote. I don't know. maybe the second viewing.
Maybe you got to get really ripped out of your mind
maybe
and just enjoy this.
But regardless, it's an experience
definitely worth watching.
You need to see it at some point in your life. I'm not saying run out to see it in the theater. You can. It's great.
True.
It's definitely lends itself to the big screen, but you can wait to see it at home and get the same experience.
Absolutely true.
It's just a unique film to say the least.
I will say this: the people in front of me, when I saw this film, I saw it in a fairly sparse audience. I went on.
I think there was 8 of us in my theater.
I went on a Thursday night. I went to see it, and there wasn't a lot of people there, but there were 2 guys specifically ahead of me, and they had a very young child with them.
Wrong choice.
She was maybe 5 years old. I just want everyone out there to please be very careful who they take to this. I wouldn't take anybody too old. I wouldn't take anybody too young.
Yeah.
There is really only a middle framework of human brain that will be comfortable, not comfortable, but will be able to accept the kind of horror that is on display here. It's not for everybody.
21 to 60. That's your margin, maybe.
Yeah. And I'm not surprised that it literally, beat it out.
Well, this
Mother came in a very far away second. I believe it only made about 25
it's going to be a tough film to
it's going to be a tough film
to
to market.
Make the money.
Yeah.
Even Jennifer Lawrence's star power.
Wow.
It's too out there for, I'd say, a lot of her fan base to even relate to. I think they're used to seeing her in the usual stuff, and so. But granted, I don't think it was a huge budgeted film, so I don't think they'll come out with too much of a loss.
I don't think it's a small budget film.
No, but I mean, I don't think it's $100 million.
No, absolutely.
But it's probably a $40 to $50 million film, and they'll probably recoup that once video sales come into play.
Oh no, they'll recoup it. They'll recoup it in the theaters now.
Internationally, definitely. I guess.
Absolutely.
I hope.
One cool.
This film will be very well received in Europe. In France,
I
definitely.
wonder.
I think so.
I don't know.
It's
I mean,
pretty
they're
avant-garde.
open-minded
They'll
there,
probably
but it's no Elephant Man. It's not something that people can really relish. One last thing to say, though, I did appreciate this that Jennifer Lawrence said on the Tonight Show. And there's one particular part of the film, as we mentioned, there's something horrible, horrible, horrible that happens.
Yes.
And so she said to Darren, her boyfriend, Aronofsky, she turns to him as the audience is now this is a full audience that went to see this at the premiere in New York City. Mm-hmm. And she said that at one particular point, she bowed her head down low and she said, "Oh my God, we've gone too far." and that's it, folks.
Yeah.
That truly is the essence of this film. We've gone too far. And
it's definitely a fair assessment.
You can't prepare yourself for this film. Don't try to. Just go in, sit down, experience it as it's meant to be. It's all that we can do.
That's all we can say.
That's all we can say.
We spent a lot of time on this film, but it's not the kind of film you can spend just 5 minutes on. You really can't.
You really can't. We could do the rest of the show on this movie.
Do a whole show on this movie.
That's what I'm saying.
We can do a Darren Aronofsky retrospective and spend most of the time talking about that movie.
He's a unique guy, and he's gone even into more unique a world for me. He's put himself in a really other category with this film.
I agree.
I found the whole filming process even irritating. Just the whole constant... this claustrophobic.
And also, he favors a lot of handheld camera.
Obviously.
Work.
Yeah.
He used just 16 millimeter on his film, so it gives it a graininess.
Okay.
He loves using 16.
I thought it looked pretty clear.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Nice
if you look at that, it's that. Yeah.
We do have a wonderful surprise cameo towards the end of this film.
I didn't. I don't want to say who it is.
Say who it is. It is a Saturday Night Live alumni.
Okay, we'll leave that
who
there.
Just kind of appears out of the blue. I loved it when this person showed up.
When I first saw this person, I'm like, oh, really? Okay.
I liked it.
I didn't know this person was in this movie.
It brought me back to earth.
Yes.
It brought me back to earth just for a moment.
I know what you're saying.
That this is a movie. There's an actor, because this film just lays before you like a Chicago riot.
Yeah.
This lays before you like just absolute destruction in a mass style. It's
And we
amazing.
forgot to mention that Michelle Pfeiffer and Ed Harris are
Michelle
in this, and
Dynamite.
they're excellent in this film.
Michelle Pfeiffer almost steals the show from me.
She's great.
She's an evil kind of. There's an evil essence. I thought Ed was very complacent. He was a nice guy.
Yeah, he was good.
He never crosses the line, but Michelle kind of keeps it. Goes it. You know.
She's a manipulator in a
She's
way.
Lady
She's-
Macbeth in this. She's egging everybody on to just and. It's just a cool film. It's
is.
very cool. Did I love watching it? No, I really despised.
I did
watching
feel that the pace got to me a bit. It was slow paced.
It's a long film.
It was a slow burn. Yeah, it's almost
an
2 hours.
It's an hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah,
And
it's long.
you feel it. You feel
You
it.
do.
Because it's such torture.
Yes.
There's a great deal of torture going on on a mental aspect. Okay, we're going to move on.